Well, hey there, friend. How are you doing today? I hope you are having a fabulous day. Thanks for letting me jump into your earbuds. I am Wendy Batten, and this is the Creative Shop Talk podcast, episode number 229. I cannot believe we're at 229. I say this every time I say the podcast number. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you're new here, welcome. This is a safe space. We talk a lot about real retail life, I guess, retail life on the retail front. We are here to help you find more joy, freedom, and profitability. I say we, it's me. It's me, Wendy Batten. I work with independent shop owners all over the globe. It's a privilege and a great pleasure. And I am on a mission. That is my mission, to help retailers wade through all the stuff, all the mess and all the things we have to juggle to be retailers. And I really, truly do believe that stepping into your role of CEO is what makes you a success, because I feel like, you already have the passion, right? You wouldn't have opened your business if you didn't have the passion and hopefully joy around what you're doing. But then comes all the stuff, all the work, all the heavy stuff. And I've been there self-employed for over 25 years, running cafe shops. Cafe shops don't exist. That's a weird word. And we're also very imperfect here. I ran a cafe for years, a small business with my husband, a service-based industry, and of course, my retail business. And I've had studios and shops and workshop studios and booth space and all of the retail stuff. And now here we are helping you unravel maybe all the messes and growing into your success as a CEO of a retail business. There's so many things we have to work on. And again, I feel that we can't do that if we are bogged down or just not moving forward. Sometimes we're spinning and not always stuck, but maybe spinning all the things, all the balls that we're juggling, because there's a lot, right? So we're spinning and spinning and spinning, and I want you to be spinning upwards and onwards and evolving as we go. And of course, freedom is different for everybody. What are you looking for and what success looks like for you and your business? But profitability, we all need to be profitable. That's a given. We have to be profitable or we don't have a business. We're just pushing string, right? We're just pushing string. So that was a very long intro. So welcome if you're new here. If you've been around for a while, hopefully that was a good refresher and a reminder as to why we're here. Totally not on my notes this morning as I'm recording this, but there we go, from the heart. That's why I'm here. Today, I really wanted to chat with you about some tools that I think will help you unlock your shop's success. Unlock your shop's success. That sounds really kind of dorky. So let's just say it's going to help your shop's success. And it's something that a tool that we give inside our Retailers Inner Circle program. That's my private coaching group. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it today. But even if you're not in the inner circle, which I hope you will be, I hope you'll understand how it could help you or how you can put your own playbook together. And let's dive in. I'm going to share a little bit about why we need to be looking at having a playbook every month. Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. One of the things that I get all the time as a retail coach is, would you just tell me what to do? Would you just tell me what to do? And I laugh because, when we were younger, we spent all of these days trying to be independent and didn't want people to tell us what to do, or for the most of us were like that. When we became self-employed, probably if you became self-employed, it was probably because you did not want somebody to tell you what to do and you wanted to do your own thing, right? You wanted to be creative, you wanted to run your own business, you wanted to have your own success and do it your way. And you're the CEO, you're the visionary, you're the goddess of your shop. But sometimes it's just like, would you just tell me what to do to make, like, so I don't have to think about it. I don't want to think. And it's just funny. I get that all the time. Just give me a list, Wendy. Just give me the list. So that's what I do. I help people leapfrog through things, and I give you the list. I'll give you the list. So you have the creativity. You have the job, the job of being creative in your zone of genius. Being the CEO, as we like to say, putting that CEO hat on and stepping into that role of the boss and the leader and all of the things that come with that means we do have to take control of a lot of things. Even if you have a bookkeeper, even if you have a team on board, even if you have, other people helping you organize all of the things, including marketing, we still need to be the one to oversee all of those things. And what we should be focused on and what we should be looking at and what we should be, and I always hate saying should be, but there are things we should be doing, is what at the core that we do inside my Retailers Inner Circle program. And it is a big piece of that is the monthly playbook that we offer. And I know a lot of retailers, they know it exists, especially even if you're listening to this and you're a member of the Inner Circle and you're like, yeah, I know you like share that thing every now and then, Wendy, but maybe it's time to come back to it and revisit it. And if you're not a member, I'm just going to share with you some of the things that a playbook can help you with, even if you're creating your own playbook. So if you sit down and spend some time creating your own playbook, and by playbook, that's kind of a weird name maybe, but it's the only thing I could think of at the time to put everything together. And it's like, here you go. Here's the plan for the month. So at the core, again, I'm going to just reiterate, we just really want to make sure you stay organized so that you can have more fun, more freedom, more profits. And that is the goal, right? We want to keep everybody on track for that. So whatever success looks like to you, we need you to don your hat and do the work. So we love to, and I always laugh, we love to share that we should be measuring things. And then this is inevitably the question I get, Wendy, what should I be measuring? Like, besides sales, we all measure sales. You're probably measuring sales. You're probably measuring your inventory, how much inventory you have on hand. You're probably measuring your expenses because, we got to know how much money's going out. But there are other things that we should or could be measuring that will help us. They will help us to not make the same mistakes over and over again. They will help us to move forward into making baby steps or leaps and bounds through the goals that we have for our business. They will help us see if there's a problem happening. There's like maybe a little red flag that we're not paying attention to. So the reason and the importance of planning is so that we are paying attention every month, because we want to stop everything we're doing, sit down, open up this playbook. This is what we recommend, just an hour or so every month. And what we have in the playbook. So I'm just going to tell you some of the pieces that are inside the playbook. But one of the things is the reflection around the planning. So we call it the reflection. So we look at the list of operational things. I don't think we call it operational things, but anyway, operational tasks. And what we need to do to close the month, to end the month, to make sure, like, we've created the list for you so you don't have to think about it. Isn't that great? And all the things that we should be doing or could be doing on our list, and your list might be different than my list. There's a lot of things that will overlap. Every retailer should be doing certain things. However, you're going to create your own list. Even in the playbook, we leave you space to create your own list. So opening operations, closing operations every month. There's a lot of things there that we should be looking at. And things that you might not even think about, even just checking your bank statements, getting things off to your bookkeeper, all of these things, again, whether it's you or not, just making sure that they're getting done. The other thing is the beauty of reflection back and looking back over everything that happened last month. So we have a whole list of questions that we get you to reflect on as the CEO. What were your wins? What were your losses? What's going right? What felt heavy and hard? What's going on with your team? Sometimes we need to just stop and think about that. Like, what's been going on with the team? What changes need to be made, and like asking ourselves these questions. Like, they're kind of like journal prompts, but I promise you that they're all helpful and good journal prompts. So take some time at the end of every month. So we pull up, you pull up your playbook. If you're an Inner Circle member, pull up your playbook, you'll look at that, or you can do it on your own if you're just journaling through that. And really sit down and reflect, what drove sales? Like, these are some of the questions. What drove your sales last month? And that's a really big question, because if you can't think, you're not going to think of that 3 months from now. You probably will struggle with thinking about that for the month. Well, I don't know what drove sales. So one of the things that may or may not have, might be driving sales is that there's special events going on, and we did this or we did that. And we make notes and we keep good notes so we don't have to reinvent the wheel next year, same month. If this September was really great because, hey, we tried this and we did that, this worked, this didn't work, like we did this, it didn't work. And then we can also look and say, well, why didn't that work? Well, we didn't really talk about it. Or, we brought in this new line and it's not really selling. And then we can reflect on, why is that not selling? And like ask ourselves questions, because being curious about the question, being curious about everything happening in your business is part of your job. It's part of the CEO job, to like really deep down, instead of just taking everything as it is, start asking questions. So we call, it's a recap, sales recap and reflection portion of the playbook. We also have a section for goal setting for the month. So we really like to encourage setting realistic goals, revenue goals, marketing initiative goals. So, do we want to increase our email list? Are we looking to move our Instagram or Facebook, or our visibility? What visibility strategy are we working on this month? And maybe there's some operational improvements. So like, what are our goals this month? And so sit down and we look through that, and we have a space for you to do that. We also have, inside the playbook, we have a marketing calendar. So, what do we need? We need to stay on top of for email campaigns. We give you all the email. We don't give you all the emails. We give you a list, usually about 15 email subject lines that you can use that are relevant in the month of September, October, November, whatever month it is. We want you to stay on top without having to rethink of this stuff. We've already thought about it for you. We've taken all the best practices from other retailers, that we've been using over the last few years from retailers. And we also give you promotional and product ideas and event ideas. This, again, comes from our community. They have shared over the years, and we've been doing this for a few years now. So we have put this all together so you don't have to think about it. And we love to give the playbooks a couple of months in advance so that you can go ahead and, if you're doing the whole quarter or that kind of thing, you can plan ahead, because we encourage that as well. We love marketing calendars. We give you a promotional and event calendar. And again, this is just, why are you sitting there thinking and looking at this blinking screen trying to come up with an email or an idea or what we're going to do, when you can have it already all just in front of you? Grab some ideas, hand it to your team, get it done, and it's organized. And so we love to support you around that way. That is the way we love to support retailers, in making things easy. Inside the Inner Circle, not part of the playbook, but part of our deliverables, part of the things that we love to help our retailers with, are Canva graphics. We give you Canva graphics for the quarter. So we do those every quarter that are relevant to the quarter. So you can, just kind of pop those in, edit them out, put your own spin on them, and they're done. So we're trying to be super helpful. We're trying to think, and we survey our members regularly. We have, conversations, and we have ears. So we listen. We have ears, so we do listen. And I do say I run the Retailers Inner Circle program, but I do have help. We have team managers, and we also have an accountability pod group. This is not about the playbook. I'm just so digressing right now, but I'm excited about this. We have we have added a small group accountability pods. We have some amazing members that have volunteered to be leaders of these accountability pods. And they're small groups. You meet together with the same 5 or 6 people every week or bi-weekly. If you want, this is totally like those that love that. There's others that are like, no, thank you. And it has become a really fabulous thing inside the Inner Circle. And I'm so excited to offer that. And we just started recently. So, and it's really popular. We've been doing it inside the mastermind group, the Level Up Mastermind group, for a while. Now we have it inside our Retailers Inner Circle. So I'm very excited about that. So all of these things do help you in maybe getting through your playbook, your monthly reflection and goal planning book and calendar. Might be something you even want to talk to your small group about. They help you keep accountable to making sure that gets done. One of the things that a lot of the members love inside the playbook is a section that we have in there for sets. Like, what should you be focused on for merchandising now? Like, this is what you should be flipping over to. I know sometimes it seems obvious, and it does, but in the same breath, we're also giving you a list of what you should be focused on. And usually it's 4 to 6 months out. As retailers, we need to be doing that. So, you could be in September, but we're talking about January clearance sales and just things to have on your calendar to start paying attention to. So you can order your promotional gear, so you can zhuzh up your shop, whatever needs to happen, so that we're planning ahead, because that's what we have to do in retail, not just purchasing our inventory in advance, but also doing our marketing, our promotions, our team, like getting our team ready for what's coming up. So we give you all of those things to think about in case you're just like most retailers and you're just like, I don't want to think. Just give me a list, Wendy. Literally, that's what they tell me. Just give me a list, Wendy. So this playbook has actually completely been curated by retailer requests, so member requests. Throughout the last several years that we've been running the Retailers Inner Circle program, it has evolved because all of the masterclasses in there came from, Wendy, can you bring somebody in to teach us about SEO? Or can you bring somebody in to teach us about this or that? Sales, we do a lot of sales. We have a lot of sales, or pricing. We have, all kinds of master classes that we bring in. So we have guest experts, and then I have a lot of teaching sessions in there as well too. So we try to listen to what the members want as they're on their journey, and everybody's at different stages, but we're all elevating, we're all evolving our business all the time, right? As, every year it evolves, right? And as our level of personal development grows, that's how the speed at which our business grows. That's a fact. So the more you learn about your business and how to run a business properly, the better and the faster your business will grow. And that's just a fact. We all know that, right? So we have to always be leveling up our skills. Heck, I'm leveling up my skills all the time and taking things and learning things. And we're always all doing that. So we try to remind you that the playbook itself was created by member requests. Like, everything in there is because people have been asking. So we put it into a concise book. A book. It's a PDF. You can download it and then print it up. And that's how we operate within the Inner Circle. We love to just give you what you ask for and what you need. So I just wanted to give you a little snapshot of what I really think everybody should be doing. I think you should have a playbook in your life. So if it's not my playbook that's inside the Retailers Inner Circle program, then create your own playbook, create a list, and maybe you have that already. And I hope you do, but I really want to remind you to keep reflection, make sure that questions and reflections are on there. You have all of your operational things, everything we need to do at the end of the month, everything we need to do to start the month, from bill paying to everything. Everything has to go on there, tax payments, whatever has to happen. We have that all listed out on our operational list for you. And then, what are we doing coming up? What are the marketing plans? First of all, goal setting and revenue plan, and then attaching marketing to that. We're never doing marketing, spaghetti marketing, as I call it, just throwing spaghetti at the wall. We always want to make sure our marketing is attached to our plans, our goals, to our revenue goals and our like actually what we're trying to achieve, the strategy that we have behind that. We want to make sure that we have our promotions in place, not just our marketing, but our product promotions, the events planned. And also one of the little things that we always have in the, in the playbook, we always have a section at the end, just a little bit of reminder about self-care and mindset. And we love to just sort of share a thought about something that you need to think about or something that might be interesting to think about, because taking care of ourselves as well is like number one, right? If we fail, our business fails. So really being mindful about your mindset is also really important and something that we talk about a lot. So I hope this has been helpful for you. We find our retailers are using it in multiple ways. One retailer told me that she gives it to, well, more than one, but one in particular told me that she gives the email subject lines templates directly to her staff. She literally just sends that sheet to one of her staff members, and then all of their social media and all of their emails are set up based on that template. So they don't have to think about it. Her employees don't have to think about it. It's just easy for them. They are subject lines, but they're so specific that they'll be very helpful to you to figure out, what to write about after that. It's just the prompts, right? Sometimes we just need somebody to give us a prompt because we've got that blinking cursor in front of us and we're like staring at a screen. So it's easier to hand things off when you have your playbook in place. I have another client who they do the playbook together. She does her operational things and her managerial and CEO things herself. The rest of it she does with her team. So I think she has a team. This particular member has 6 or 7 people of her key employees. So she brings them all in and they sit down and they do all of their planning together. They do their marketing, their promotions, like when they're going to do things. And it's just so helpful, like they're, her key employees. So it's just so helpful, but they go through the playbook. I have another member who's told me that like that's her Bible. She calls it the Bible. Now I'm not going to like step on anybody's Bible toes. I don't want to call anything a Bible other than the Bible, but if that's what you want to call it, that's what the playbook can be. It can be your retail Bible. How's that? To help you organize and stay organized so that, again, back to this, like less, like we go do what you do well and less of what, the boring stuff, right? The boring stuff of like creating those lists. So I'm hoping that this has been helpful for you. I'd love to encourage you to join us inside the Retailers Inner Circle. It is a great time to join. In fourth quarter is a really great time to join us, or whenever you're listening to this, it's always a great time. But we have lots of masterclasses inside. Going into the new year, we are going to have, we already have inside, we have all your yearly planning. We have all of that there for you to go and get and work through. We have monthly group coaching calls where you can come and ask me anything. We can sit down and hang out together for an hour. I love those calls. It's one of my favorite parts of the Inner Circle is like seeing everybody, and we jump into a Zoom room and we ask questions. We usually have a hot topic or something that we're chatting about. And it's just such a great time to see other retailers and meet other retailers. Sometimes we pop everybody into like little groups. You can join the accountability pods. Those are so great because you can meet and get to know, and sometimes other people's eyes, like, and ideas on your business, because we pretty much, as a solo entrepreneur, solopreneur as we like to call ourselves, we're by ourselves, we're idea generating all on our own. So I just want to remind you that it's kind of good to be in a community. And if you're not a community joiner inner, you can still come to the open coaching calls once a month. You can come to, and you can grab these things. You can work through masterclasses on your own. So whether you're a lurker, like I like to say, there's some people that are lurkers, and then there's those that are joiner inners, and they're in the inner circle. They're in our Facebook group, asking questions, sharing, helping, supporting. There's, all kinds of different support and ways we support people inside that program. So I hope someday that you will think about it if you haven't already. This is a really, really good time to join, though. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's some really fun things happening. And of course, you have access to these playbooks, which is, the primary thing I wanted to mention to you today. So thank you for listening. I hope you gleaned some kind of insight or action around creating your own playbook, or actually going and grabbing the playbook for those of you that are Inner Circle members that haven't grabbed it in a while, or, just zhuzhing up the one that you're doing and really paying attention to that role, that part of your role as the CEO of just being super organized at the end of every month. Overwhelm and chaos and all of those things, sometimes they can just really add up, especially the fourth quarter going in back into the first quarter. Let's just stay organized. And we have a lot of awesome creative brains, especially as an entrepreneur. We're always like sort of thinking ahead and just all over the place. That's maybe speaking from my own point of view. That's maybe how I am sometimes. And I find guides like my Playbook and having a system, it's just so important to sit down like at the end of every month and plan out, just like take an hour. It's an hour. You have an hour. You can do it. So anyway, there's my pitch for you becoming an awesome planner, and you'll feel really good about yourself when you work on your Playbook. So thanks for listening today. I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope that you have a concept now of why you need to do this, and I hope you'll go grab one, grab the Playbook, as I mentioned, or create your own. So thanks for listening. Have a wonderful rest of the week. We have a great podcast episode coming up again next week. I hope you'll join us. Oh, and if you listened to last week's podcast, we talked about the security, shoplifting, and theft in your business. And that's a really great one. That's episode 228. 228. Go have a listen to that. If you haven't taken the time recently to pay attention to your security and the way you're handling shoplifters and all those things, because this is a really great time to just remind your staff and yourself. I just wanted to plug last week's podcast because I think it's a really important one. All right, my friends, have a great week. We'll see you next week. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you were here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.